If you are watching this, it means the Frostborn update is finally out. Hey guys, I know a lot of you guys have been upset that the update didn't come sooner. We were thinking it was going to come a lot sooner, like actually during Christmas, and it didn't. And a lot of you guys are upset, but I want to explain why I think that you guys should not only not be upset, but actually, if you think about it, this is the best, this is such a good indicator that the Frostborn devs are looking out for us as players and doing what we're actually wanting them to do. So, for example, obviously, now some of you guys have had this idea that, oh, they never meant to release it by Christmas. They meant to, release it by the Russian Christmas, which is January 7th. And I don't think so. I mean, obviously, I don't know. I'm not a dev, but I think that they did mean to release it. Those of you who, I've been part of betas in the past, and they're not usually this long. So I think that they were meaning to release it. But, and then when you think about all of these, sales, so I think those sales were meant for Christmas, because Christmas is a time that people buy a lot of those things. And it would have been really good for the devs to have it released by Christmas to capitalize on those sales. But the fact that they didn't, but if you actually think about the implications of them not releasing this update before Christmas, obviously there's this idea of this festive Christmas fun. In their mind, those sales, those purchases, all of the things that they were doing, that was a benefit to the devs. So the devs had every motivation to release the update early. It would have made them more money, but they didn't release the update. And the question is, why didn't they release the update? And I think I know the answer, because I've been playing this beta quite a bit. And there's been quite a few times that I've noticed that there's just some glitches. There's some lags. There's some bugs. And, obviously there's a lot of bugs that they fixed. This update has, they fixed the Odin caches. They fixed a bunch of other things about this game. That we've been wanting them to fix those bugs, and I'm sad they didn't release it earlier, because there's still those bugs in the game right now. But they did fix a lot of those, but there were also some other ones. And the biggest one is that when I would go to this event, every once in a while, it was rare, but every once in a while I'd go in and I'd be invisible, and my enemies couldn't see me, and I could, basically I could kill them, but they couldn't see me. And so that was a big bug. Those type of bugs can really ruin the game, because one guy exploits it. I wasn't trying to exploit it, and I still killed Mr. Loyal Lion at one point when I was invisible, because, well, I didn't know I was invisible, and we couldn't chat. It was kind of feeling something was weird about it. And so the fact that they fixed bugs like that, I'm sure there's other ones. That's just the one I found, but I'm sure that there were other bugs. And the fact that they took the time to make sure to fix those bugs is... Helheim Rifts is up, but I don't think anyone's going to be going to it in the beta. Not a whole lot of people are level 70 in the beta. So we're not going to go there. And I doubt anyone's there. So we're gonna go over here and see if there's any PvP here in a second. But the fact that they didn't release it means that they were working on those bugs. In my opinion, I can't think of any other reason why they wouldn't release it, and they missed out on money. So if the devs are willing to miss out on money to make sure the game is produced well, gets good ratings, I mean, the last update there was some bugs and they got some bad ratings, then that is a long-term way of thinking. They're not just trying to get money off of, this next update or the people that they already have. They're wanting more people, a bigger game, bigger growth. And that gets me really excited, because I love this game, and I think a lot more people should know about this game. And the fact that they're willing to sacrifice the money they could make right now for the purpose of just growing more later, getting better reviews, having higher quality updates, then that's what I'm looking for in Frostborn. I want them to have great updates. And it seems like they're having a lot of content. I mean, these 2 new events are coming out, or are out if you're watching this video. And those events are really exciting. They've got a lot of stuff to them. Oh, another change that I haven't mentioned to you guys yet, because again, they're listening to our feedback, is, you know, one of the things we're really scared about with this update is that they were going to ruin the rogue class and the assassin class because you couldn't do a sneak attack quickly. And so look at this, guys. They fixed it. Watch this. You see that? So anyways, they fixed the stealth going faster, and so that's going to make it to where I don't know if it's 100% as fast as it was last time, but it's a lot better than what it was. And the fact that the devs they're looking to our feedback and making changes before they even release it globally is, again, another really good sign that the devs are wanting to do a high quality job. And we're still going to get this update. Those PvP zones, these maple trees, all of this extra copper that we're going to get that forever. This is permanent content. Okay, so you got to keep in mind, you know, they didn't make a bunch of money. They didn't release a season. We didn't get all the seasonal, like, oh yeah, we got to throw snowballs on Christmas Day. I don't know about you guys, but I wasn't really playing Frostborn on Christmas Day. I was spending time with my family. And so the fact that they weren't as concerned about making sure that we were making the right purchases or experiencing a snowball fight on Christmas Day, and rather that they're making sure that all this permanent content that they're adding to the game is done well and without that many bugs, is, in my opinion, just shows these devs are awesome. They're thinking long term, and that is, yeah, that just gets me really excited. Okay, so we got about 9 minutes left before this event starts, and we're gonna go in there, and it looks like we're alone. So hopefully with this damage reflect potion, if we run into a whole team, we'll be able to still win. But it is definitely unlikely to win, but that's okay. It's the beta. It's okay to lose some things on the beta. It should be a fun PvP fight if people are on. A lot of people might not be on anymore because the beta's been going on so long. They're probably just waiting for it to come out in global, but we'll see. We'll see if anyone's there. We'll see if there's any PvP going on. But basically, the point of this whole episode, guys, is just to point out that, you know, sometimes when things go bad, we as players just immediately start blaming the devs, or we think, oh, this isn't how I was expecting it. The only fact y'all even know that there was a Christmas update, and the fact that I can show you this right now, is because the devs allowed an open beta to where any of you guys can join this beta, any of you can play around with it. That is really nice. That is again a really good move where the devs are kind of like, hey, we want this to be really good, so not only are we going to release this to a select few, which is what all the Kefir games I've been part of in the past, is they've allowed the beta just be to a select few, and I've been fortunate to be one of those people. But now Frostborn's saying, hey, we want more testers, we want more feedback, we want to make sure that we're developing it well, and so they have opened up this beta to all of you to try it out, play around with it. And again, that's just a good sign. So we have to think critically. When something goes wrong, we can't just immediately say, oh, this is bad, because it's not what I was expecting. We have to think, hey, what are the motives? Who's winning, who's losing in this scenario? Why would they do it? And clearly, I cannot think of any selfish reason that Kefir would hold back this update. They're losing out on money. They're losing out. They're dealing with a lot of angry fans. So, which is why I'm even making this video. I know a lot of you guys are angry because you thought the update would come out by Christmas and you're upset about it. But in reality, I'm like, guys, like, this move is so that we have a better quality game, and so that the updates is a long-term thinking. And I don't know about you guys, but Frostborn is going to be more fun with more people, because a PvP, the more people you have, the better the matchmaking system's going to be for us to, you know, be able to do PvP with people our level and in our situation. And so I think, okay, I'm going to go ahead and go to this zone, just see if anyone's there. But I doubt anyone's there, but we'll check it out, see if we find anyone. So because of that, in my opinion, I think you guys I think we should thank the devs. The devs are giving up some of the money that they would be making by making sure to do a really good job. So instead of complaining, instead of assuming that they're doing something wrong, I think, what was the game just recently? Cyberpunk released an update that was delayed, and their fans were so mad at them and angry at them, and they were like yelling at them, and there were some death threats. It was just really messed up. And so the devs on this newest update of Cyberpunk, didn't want to do that again, and so they went ahead and released it. Well, there's a ton of bugs, and the people hate the update. So I think that if you guys got to pay attention. Like, devs don't want to disappoint you guys. They don't want you to hate them. And so if you're yelling at them and getting upset with them for not releasing an update quick enough, then they may not be this selfless in the future, because they're like, oh, well, the players want it early. And they also make more money if they release it early. And so they might release it early next time, but then we get a buggy update and it might cause other problems. So I think that what we should be doing as players is, first of all, just being thankful and being more positive. But second, I think go give Frostborn good reviews. I just think Frostborn's going to be more fun the more players we get in it. I'm glad the devs are thinking long term instead of just grabbing good money for this Christmas update. They're working on releasing quality updates with permanent content that we can enjoy forever. And as they keep doing that, the game will just keep growing bigger and bigger. And that's what we want. We want the matchmaking system to be able to pair us with people our level, so that every fight is a really engaging, exciting fight. And so I don't know about you guys, but I've gone on multiple accounts now and given Frostborn a 5-star review. And I think you guys should do the same, because the developers of this game are developing it with a long-term, players-minded focus, So that's my opinion. You take it or leave it. All right, it's about to start. I just thought of one other thing that you got to keep in mind with this game versus all of the other games like it, is because of the nature of multiplayer. These guys have to make sure to match. Drew Treasure, great. They got to make sure that the iOS and Android updates are released at the same time. If they're not released at the same time, then you're going to deal with. Let's see if we got anyone here. Then you've got players that are going to be in a kind of a tough situation where, you can't give the iOS or Android a big advantage. Like in Last Day on Earth, they released iOS because they're like, well, we got it, let's release it. And then the Android people didn't get it for like 3 days later. You can't do that in Frostborn. That would your team wouldn't even be able to play with each other. So, I don't see anyone here. All right, we're going to do a real quick sweep. Hopefully don't run into a whole team. Oh, man. Oh, this event, guys, is going to be so much fun in the actual update. Being able to come just for the PvP alone. The loot is not necessarily that amazing. It's okay. But the PvP in this zone is going to be a place that people will want to use their stuff, And I am really excited about it. The more the better, though, because obviously someone like me, maxed out protector, I can tell I get matched with some pretty weak people here. And so if Frostborn grows, I'm going to get matched with more people my level. And those weaker people are going to get matched with their level. And so hopefully Frostborn will continue to grow. I have this theory that Frostborn, the devs have actually been kind of holding back a little bit. Obviously, they've been releasing updates every 2 or 3 weeks, so I can't say holding back that's a lot of updates. But I've wondered if their plan has just been to ramp up to try to get a game of the year for 2021. And so we'll see what happens there. It doesn't look like anyone's on right now. And this is just because it's the beta. There's only there's only a few hundred people playing the beta, if that, anyways. And the beta's been out for a while. These zones are going to be dead. But in global, when you're talking about, millions of players, or maybe not million, hundreds of thousands of players, we're talking about you're going to be able to find some PvP in these places. So we'll go ahead and go here just to see if someone came over to the fire zone. Maybe they're higher level now, and this is the place to be. It's been a few days since I've logged on to the beta and done these events, and so maybe everyone moved all the PvP over to the fire area. We're gonna go and just go in, see what happens. Okay, here we are. 30 seconds left. Doesn't look like anyone's here. But guys, these events are going to be so dynamic. One thought I had that you guys might be curious about is placing, like if you get here first and no one's here yet, you could put a bunch of traps. You know that they're coming, right? And so you could put a bunch of traps to where if they fight you, they're gonna have to fight you amidst traps. But I don't know if I'd actually put in the middle here. I'm thinking that if you put in the middle here and there's 4 teams going on, that's going to make you the center target. And even though you have traps to defend you, people are going to wait and have a focal point on trying to kill you. So I think it actually might be smarter. There we go. So, this isn't game-changing loot, but this is still really good loot. To be able to get this stuff, to be able to get, 3 purples is, on top of all the stuff you get from winning the PvP matches. But I actually think the best place to set up would be probably the bottom or the top. Oh, that was dumb. Okay, so like maybe somewhere like here, you could turn this off, and you could set up some traps here, like maybe like this. Yeah, something like that. And then your team is kind of sitting here at this spot. Maybe you set up some traps here. Maybe you set up some traps here. Maybe you set up some traps here, but where you're still kind of in range of shooting. And or if the other team turns off this fire, you could set up some traps here. Basically, you guys sneak right here out of the 4 of you, and you're kind of like, I'm going to set up this corner, I'm going to defend it. And then when the time comes, with the big fight, you are careful to not, like let the other teams kind of fight over the chest a little bit. Maybe you kill some people at the last second. Maybe you had some traps, over here. I'm not exactly where all we'll put the traps, but let's say you time it right to where you're not taking on 2 teams at once, and you get in there and maybe 2 teams just finished fighting and they're weak, and you come in and you mop up. And then when that happens, you get the chest. Maybe they already opened it. Or maybe you don't even care about the chest. Maybe all you do is gather all of the loot from the people you kill, and you say, screw the chest, I'm going. And then you run one of your guys' speed potions, or they're already there, and as you're running and maybe a team's chasing you, you put up this trap, and now they have to go all the way around. They can't actually chase you the way they wanted to chase you, because if they're going to try to go through that, even if they're pretty close behind you, they're going to hit those stun traps, and then you're going to blow them away with the fire thing. Maybe you throw a bola, keep them there. Point is, unless they're going to dispel, and then they've used their dispels, this is probably one of the best places to defend for this event. So I'll give you more tips on this event when it actually comes. I want to see it played out with like real legit teams fighting it out. And here in the beta, it's been somewhat legit. There's been some good, 3-way fights, but nothing compared to what it will be when it's global and you're dealing with, 4v4v4v4, of teams that actually know what they're doing. It's going to be such an epic fight. It's going to be awesome. So basically, guys, this is an amazing update. And the fact that they didn't release it before Christmas, which I'm not actually 100% sure that was their plan. I just think intuitively that's what would have been smart. And I assume that was their plan. The fact that they didn't release it by then is awesome. And the fact that you even know about it is awesome. The fact that you have availability to the open beta, so that you know about this update before it happened, is a good move by the devs. The fact that they delayed it so that we're getting the highest quality permanent content out there is, again, a very selfless move of the devs, that they passed up on getting more money from the sales so that they could end up getting, so they could have better quality updates. I don't know. I'm just saying, I am really loving the devs of this game. I think that they're thinking long term, and that's what I want for Frostborn. I want it to be an amazing game. It's already a good game. It's already a great game. But I want it to just keep being, I want it to be a timeless, amazing game forever. And if they keep thinking like this, then I think this game will become that timeless, perfect game. All right, guys, I'll see you next time.